Good afternoon. Today is Saturday, February 8th, 2025, and we're back at it with another random thought. It's a very interesting and very important, may I say, topic. Topic of this video is lust has no boundaries, or lust has no bounds. So I really want to talk about this because it's very important in all aspects of your life. And I have a list, so it may be this may be part one, part two, or maybe the whole thing, just depending on how long I can make this video. So on the first list, the first bullet point on the list is food was the first temptation and Adam and Eve failed. That says a lot because most of us, we do eat a lot. Well, I won't say everybody does, but when we do, there's going to be issues. And that says a lot with food and some of the other things that I have pointed on here actually backs up everything from the beginning, with food being the first temptation. And we're not going to be suffice of what we have, but we'll see something else, say we want that, but once we get it, then it's like, well, it wasn't even all that anyway. So with the food, it can really, like, our diet is very important in determining our, lifestyle by the things that we eat. So that being said, that's why there's so many diseases out in the world. And it all goes back, like I said, to the beginning, and how Adam and Eve disobeyed, and as a result, it brought those consequences. Sin, sickness, death, everything that is attached to sin. While there's still good things in the world, we still have to deal with sin. So the food, now, some people don't have any self-control, and as a result, people end up having these issues. And with me, I'm no better. I've learned, through trial and error with food. Like right now, I would say I haven't really been eating as much. And the reason why is because I feel like I can think more clearly. Now, I'm going to probably be going all over in this video, but this is just some things. Like I said, this is random thoughts in every video on this playlist is going to be random thoughts. So going back with the food, in the morning, I would eat, you're supposed to have like a full meal so that way you can go throughout the day. But what I'm finding out is that it will cause me to have brain fog. Well, not so much brain fog, but it will kind of make me feel like I don't want to do anything. And the morning is when I want to be the most productive. So, like I said, maybe like a part two of lust has no bounds. So the next thing I want to touch up on is, and the next thing that's on this list is spending money on food takes more on a percentage on spending habits. Now, I remember I was having this conversation with one of the customers. He was coming in and, he was showing us some things that he was doing. And while he was waiting for my manager to come to talk to him about what he was offering, is that, we were talking about our spending habits. It was like, yeah, I was kind of thinking, I was looking on my, percentage of spending, and it's showing that I'm spending most of the money on food. And I said, you know what? That is so true, because I was doing the same thing. the percentage of everything that I was spending, it wasn't on clothes. I've gone over that. You know how you have like a fad, I think it's called a fad, like, you know, fidget spinners, you know. But, you know, time changes things. So, you know, I'm going to talk about that in another video. But it's very important today to talk about this, because this is what affects your life. So, the percentage of food took over the majority of the spending. Everything else was just a small fraction. So, that says a lot of how food has most people. And that's why I have to get back to fasting. I was fasting for quite some time and I just started falling back. So the fasting will definitely have you to be more disciplined when it in you know, in that aspect. And I think that if you can't master dieting and being disciplined on your eating, then everything else will be hard. That's just what I've been feeling and what I've experienced. You cannot be disciplined in one area of your life, then everything else would just be hard, you know. So that really said a lot. And the next thing on the list is comfort zone. So this all ties in. Food, we see something else that we like, right? And we know we think what we have is not good enough, but we have to realize, and you got to understand, to be content with what you have, because once you get something else, you're going to realize, you know what, I didn't need this anyway. And it's just sitting there. Like I have some things that it's just sitting there. And I'm like, you know what, I wasn't like using it as I thought I would. And that goes back to also that God gives you what you can bear. He knows the time that he can give you what you're asking for, but you think you want it now, but once you get it, it's like you're not using it, and it's kind of like a burden because, you know, it's just sitting there. So when people, and then also there's a saying that, you know, your eyes are bigger than your belly. So that saying is very true, because like even going back with the food, like you can say, oh yeah, this plate right here, yeah, I would choose this plate because it has more food in it. But little do you know, sometimes that smaller plate, and this has happened to me like numerous times, I would get like a big, like full plate of food, and like, man, I wasn't gonna eat all this, man, I'm full. But one time, when the times that I did get that plate of food, that said, oh man, I need to have some more food. Once I finished that plate up, I was satisfied. I was full, I was satisfied, I didn't need anything else. So that spoke volumes to me of how your eyes can deceive you. And you know, and even the Bible verses, I have to do another video, and I would definitely, you know, correlate everything of, you know, the lust of the eyes and the lust of the flesh, because it all ties in. You think you need more, but you're not content of what you have, you know, and then you realize you didn't need all this stuff. So I know I'm going all over in this video, but there's some things, like I said, I'm gonna just cover in another video because I'm already 9 minutes in. So the next thing on the list is, oh yeah, the comfort zone. I want to continue to expound on that before I end this one, and then I'll make another part 2 of Lust Has No Bounds. So with the comfort zone, the food, you know, ties in with the comfort zone. You know, you're going to continue to keep eating, and to a point that you don't want to do anything. And this has happened. That's why I say in the morning time, I really don't eat that heavy. I don't eat heavy. I know they say to eat like a king in the morning, or eat like a prince lunch, and then the dinner eat like a eunuch, I think, or something like that. I know I'm kind of sounding like I don't know what I'm talking about, but it is what it is. But point is you want to be balanced, because this is the kind of stuff when you eat and you don't want to move, that's a comfort zone. And even getting up in the morning, you have to get, like, that's the most productive time of the day. God woke you up, and you go ahead, get up. Don't stay in the bed. If you woke up at 5, and I know I struggle with this, I'm no saint when it comes to this. I'm not perfect when it comes to this. Get up. He wakes up at 5 o'clock. Get up, pray, spend time with him before you start anything else. It's a blessing to get up that early. It's a blessing to get up every day, because there's so much stuff going on. A lot of lives are ceasing. So yeah, I just want to make that video, and just to say, you have to get out your comfort zone as well. Just to close it off, you have to get out your comfort zone. And once you do that, it's going to help you in your life, because if you continue to keep chasing comfort, you're going to be stuck in the areas. You're not going to grow because you're so comfortable in the area that you're in life right now versus, in the future. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to close off at that point. I'm going to finish this off in part 2. But you can also, like I said, there's going to be a variety of things on this channel. I'm going to have these random thoughts as well as reactions and everything else. But if you enjoyed it, let me know your thoughts, opinions in the comment section down below, and any questions that you may have. But until the next one, sign out. Later.